Welcome back, Jimmy G. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa. Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from Tampa. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
45. Here we go. 180. Defense wins championships, baby.
Garoppolo on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's second down.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Mike, 45. Hey, watch your leg. Check.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
Ndamukong Suh provokes a whole lot of conversation. But at the end, everyone agrees, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Check Mike. Slam.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Ellington. They're spinning away. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
Peyton Barber had his best year running the football in 2018, and he was 9th in the league last year in rushing attempts. The only issue, yards per carry. Total yards under 900. New head coach Bruce Arians, he believes he can improve his efficiency.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Ready. Black 25. Hey, even. Let's go, D. Joker, Joker. Joker, Joker.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. You ready?
Barber on 1st and 10. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Not my house.
And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Dee Ford, a lightning-quick edge rusher, has made his way from Kansas City to San Francisco, and no one happier than interior defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. That should free him up for more one-on-ones inside, and Ford's speed off the edge will surely make quarterbacks get rid of the ball a whole lot quicker.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Let's go.
Winston. A look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Ready? Move ready.
And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. And since the penalty They occurred in the end zone, moved the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 75 yards. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Andre Ellington, his first carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Winston now. And he finds Howard complete. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Even.
Play fake. Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So on fourth down, out comes the Bucs free agent signee Bradley Pinion to punt. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Here we go.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running. Away from people on it.
And that'll set him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo, George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Ellington now to return it. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. And let's take a peek at some of the defensive effort here that's helped them get this first half lead.
Yeah, I remember in school, we used to have a term for it, break on it. When you see the ball in the air, when you see a receiver make the cut, and you anticipate it, break on the football, get there, make a play. And we've seen a lot of that so far in this game.
Coverage has been excellent. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground with Barber. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Let's go. Check 99.
Play action now. Winston. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back.
On the ready.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down.
No. Off.
From the gun, Gabbard. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Pettis. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here we go.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Running left, Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Jerick McKinnon, 2 years in the making, gets his first 49er carry. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
Here we go.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
4 down, even.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A 4-yard touchdown run, and the 49ers add on to their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now Gold for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's go. Pick it up, D.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Jameis now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Check safety, go.
From the gun, Winston. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year. But that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Sonic. Delta.
To the air again with Winston. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are within a 2-point conversion of tying us up. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold. Right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Mike, 45. I got you, punk.
Throwing on second and long. Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick.
Here we go, pass, 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 pass. Quick, 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 quick.
And he may want to track down that football, because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading a team, trying to win a ball game, I agree with you. Not happy at all. Trying to figure out how to up his game and inspire his teammates to do the same.
That's a true leader. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Come on here, come get some.
To throw again on second down, Winston. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flip it, flip it, flip it. Let him go.
To throw is Winston. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes.
Mike's by 4. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he hits his man, Matthews. Touchdown, 49ers.
Let's go, touchdown.
Jordan Matthews, 42 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Gold to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Heading back out there, a look at Peyton Barber. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Wait.
Off the play fake, Winston escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. He's got daylight.
Sometimes you're never quite sure there's actually scheme that got the ball blocked. But I know one thing. The special teams coach, he's going to take the pats on the back for it anyway.
It's always interesting to watch after the block, the scramble for the football. Nice job there. They kept their wherewithal, got it, able to return it.
And on that, he can take the pats on the back because once you get the block, everything that happens from there is really controlled chaos. And you try and control it through your practice, through your teaching, and understand, expect to get the block. And once we do, this is how we respond.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Garoppolo now. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a third and long. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Gold maybe not blessed with the strongest leg in the league, but he might be the most accurate. 2 for 2 from 50-plus a year ago, and he converts another one here.
Yeah, you don't want to play horse with Robbie Gould as a kicker. That guy can maneuver a football with his foot.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Running is Barber. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From midfield now on second down. Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Winston gives to Barber. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Wait.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out, and it's a Buccaneers touchdown.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Gay is on for the point after. And the 3rd time's a charm as he finally gets one of these to go. The drive there only spanning 3 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. That's a good. Chunk of yardage, it's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now they hand off to Coleman. Carl Nassib there on the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Play fake. Gabbert. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Throwing. Gabbert. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. He was looking for Brashad Perriman. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Come on, D.
Gabbert now. And he's not able to get away. Gabbert sacked. Eric Armstead able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here comes Pettis on the return. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Coleman has it here right side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. Gearing up to go again here on offense, Andre Ellington works his way back out there. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
54. I got him.
Now Gabbert. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
You bet. Look, squeeze. Scared of it. Shit. 25, check 25, check 25. Mike's 50.
From the shotgun, it's Gabbert. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
Let's go.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The veteran Phillip Rivers with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Devontae Freeman, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw on second down. Gabbert, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man, complete. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. The 20. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Interception, baby, all day, all day.
Here we go.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. It's Coleman here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
I got you, son. I got you. You're
hot.
You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Right there. All day, baby.
Here we go.
The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. To throw is Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Baby. I see you over
From 4 yards out. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Crunch. Get it.
Throwing again. Gabbard on 2nd and 10. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding calls. Set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
A first down throw for Gabbert. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, It's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bag play.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. Garoppolo now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to McKinnon. It's Garoppolo. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So apparently, some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
It's coming again.
The Niners on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he finds his tight end, Salek. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. Running right through him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Hit it.
They go play action. Gabbard. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Go, Gator.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Here we go. Set. 8. Read. 54. Mike, 54. You better bring it. Let's go.
On first down, it's Barber. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands Hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw is Gabbard. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Gabbard stepping up. He'll try and run. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
3rd and long for Gabbard. And the Niners get there and bring him down. D. Ford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Check, boys.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Here we go.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Barrett, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Well, it was a third and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move. Move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So that last penalty making this third down much more manageable. Third down, 4 yards to go. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. Runs through the contact. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Gabbert under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Ready.
Here's Gabbert now. Flush to his right. Looking downfield for Godwin. It's caught inside the 25. Oh, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, 72 yards. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 45-yard punt and couple that with a loss on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Set, ready, 50, plant.
Mike 54, Mike 54.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Shoot.
They'll run on first down. Barber. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Coming after you, 25. Here I come.
Two tights.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Hey, Charlie.
Now on 2nd and 13. Gabbard. And Brake has it over the middle. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Here we go.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. On the handoff, this is Barber. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
First down, they go with Barber again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Check 26.
On 2nd and 12, Gabbard eluding the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 11.
Under 10. 10.
Out of the gun, Gabbard letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Go.
Back.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Gabbert to throw for it on 4th. Complete. He finds Brain. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Ready.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Barber. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Gabbert. And he fends him off. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Gabbert on 4th down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there, 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And shedding the tackle and now some room. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to give this one to McKinnon. Levante David in on the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
Check tight. Check tight.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
The kick by Gold is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, Gabbert escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Watch 54, watch 54. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Here's Ellington. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 39, Gabbert. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Switch up.
On 1st down, McKinnon again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Here we go.
And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a 3rd down gain of 10 to pick up the 1st. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Niners, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.